Guardians, what's going on? Blue Knight here. Today I want to show you how easy it can be to solo the Insight Terminus GM with Prismatic Warlock. Real quick, yes, we are using Getaway Artists. If you can't beat him, join him. I've tried so long to use non-Getaway Artist builds. It's just everything, not everything, but so many things for this season kind of play into Getaway Artists, and I'll kind of explain them. Warning, this is going to be long-winded. The beginning parts of my videos are normally long-winded because I want to explain it to the best of my ability so that way people understand and then they can learn from it. So let's go into the subclass. We're using Song of Flames for our super. The damage resistance that you get / the damage output buff that you get from Song of Flame is just absolutely nuts. They nerfed well to give us a better well, almost, in a way. Anyway, I love Song of Flame. Like I said, the survivability in this is great. We're using this because in the big room area and then at the end of the GM, when you're trying to take the plate, Song of Flame comes in clutch because it's very hard to die in it. So you can be surrounded by things, taking less damage with faceted protection while also getting damage resistance just because you're in Song of Flame. It does a lot for you. Onto the abilities, Healing Rift, Burst Glide, the only movement, in my opinion, that Warlocks need. Arcane Needle, and then Storm Grenade. So we're using Storm Grenade because of Getaway Artist. We need this. And then we're using Arcane Needle to pair with Facet of Dawn as well as Facet of Courage, but I'll explain that here in a little bit. Onto the aspects, we're using Bleak Watcher and Feed the Void. Bleak Watcher because when we consume our Arc Grenade to give us an Arc Soul and to make us amplified, it also pops out a Bleak Watcher turret. So we have three forms of darkness debuffs in a way because this is stasis. So we've got a stasis, we've got a strand, and then we have another stasis debuff. And then Feed the Void, it just gives you so much healing. It would be OP. I was getting ready to say I wish they gave us 3 fragment slots with this, but it would be way too OP if it gave us 3 fragment slots with Feed the Void. But those are 2 aspects. Onto the fragments, we've got Faceted Protection. We are going to be surrounded in a couple of spots in this GM, so Faceted Protection is a definite must-have in my opinion. Facet of Ruin increases the size and damage of the burst when you shatter a stasis crystal or frozen target, and increases the area of effective solar ignitions. Our super can create solar ignitions. We're using Aberrant Action and Dragon's Breath. Both of those can cause ignitions. So that's why we're running this for the ignition side. And then the stasis side, we can freeze things with our grenade. We can freeze things with our Bleak Watcher. So shattering a frozen target, increases the size and damage. And then it increases the size of solar ignitions. Facet of Courage. Now, your Arc, Solar, and Void abilities deal increased damage to targets afflicted with a Darkness debuff. We have 3 different types of Darkness debuffs. Well, we have 2 in 3 different forms. We have Slowing Freezing with Stasis, Slowing Freezing with Stasis, and then we have Unraveling with our Arcane Needle. So our Ignitions are going to do more damage because of this. An Ignition, I think, is considered an ability. Let me know if it's not. But I feel like you have more damage with Ignitions when you have Facet of Courage on and their Darkness debuffed. And then solar abilities are super. Just straight up. We're kind of buffing it. Facet of Dawn. Powered melee hits against combatants make you radiant. The second half of that, we're doing the solo, so it doesn't matter. You can read it if you'd like. But we are going to be radiant. That is an outgoing damage buff for everything, abilities and weapons. Why not use it? Plus, our rocket launcher has no artifact or no intrinsic perk on it to allow it to deal with champions. So if we really wanted to, for some reason, if I couldn't use my pulse rifle with unlimited ammo to stun a barrier champ, if I were to power melee them, I would become radiant. Then I would be able to shoot my rocket launcher at them, popping the barrier. But we're just using it for the damage output. Facet of Hope. While you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly, and then elemental buffs are on the right. Your light buffs are amplified, which we're getting from Getaway Artist, Cure, we're not getting. Radiant, which we're getting from our melees. Restoration, which we're not getting. Devour, which we're getting from ability kills. And then Invisibility, Overshield, we're not getting those, and we're not getting any Darkness debuffs. So there are multiple ways that we can get our class ability back much faster. And then in the armor mods, we're kind of feeding how fast we get back our class ability. We're feeding that into being able to get our other abilities back pretty quick as well. So there is the subclass. Now let's look at the weapons. We're using Battle Scar. Shoot to loot kinetic tremors is absolutely insane. I love it so much because kinetic tremors proc shoot to loot. So if you kill something and it drops ammo, but kinetic tremors are still going, it will pick it up for you and automatically reload all your weapons. It'll give you the ammo brick. Like I said, it's just absolutely amazing. Another option, if you don't have a good Battle Scar, the only role on Battle Scar, in my opinion, that anyone should ever have, because honestly, it's not the best pulse rifle because it jumps around a lot, but it's just shoot to loot kinetic tremors. If I could get Blast Furnace with shoot to loot kinetic tremors, I would absolutely love it. I'm not sure if you can. I don't think you can, but Blast Furnace has the impact, has the range, it has just the raw power. You can get Frenzy kinetic tremors on Blast Furnace, and it's absolutely insane. I prefer Battle Scar, though, because of shoot to loot kinetic tremors. Other pulse rifles, Outbreak Perfected Revision 0, if you didn't want to use an exotic rocket launcher, you could use these to deal with the barrier champs. If you wanted to deal with Unstop champs in your kinetic slot, or in your first slot, Forerunner is like the first ever rocket sidearm. I know it's not a rocket sidearm, but it was the first energy ammo sidearm in the game, so it just hits like a truck. The catalyst for it is kind of cool. If you hold your reload button after getting a kill, it consumes some of your ammo, and it gives your next thrown grenade a perk that is, it just makes it a halo grenade. Kind of cool, but it really does hit like a truck. Another one could be the Call. My preferred role on it was Lead from Gold Vorpal. Absolutely insane. I love this thing. I just don't use it so much because Aberrant Action came out. We'll go over that here in a second. And then other things, other scout rifles with kinetic tremors, not shoot to loot, but with kinetic tremors, is the Imperative, and then Hung Jury. Hung Jury you can get from doing the, what is it called? We're doing this live. Onslaught. There we go. You can get it from doing Onslaught, and again, I got kinetic tremors, Desperate Measures, which is exactly what my Blast Furnace is. So it's just one's a scout rifle and one's a pulse rifle. Imperative you can craft. I can craft it. I just haven't yet. I kind of found it in my vault, and I was like, wow, that's actually not a bad roll on it. But anyway, those are options. I prefer Battle Scar, though. Onto the energy ammo slot. We've got Aberrant Action. The reason being is because Heal Clip Incandescent. Incandescent spreads Scorch. Enough Scorch being spread can cause ignitions. That's why I said when we were looking at the subclass that this weapon could cause ignitions, because it can. It's just very situational. You got to have a lot of red bars in an area in order to cause ignition, but it's not impossible. Other options, if you wanted to use a sidearm here, could be Indebted Kindness. Lead from Gold Volt Shots, just nuts on it. I'm going to be doing this in an arc run as well, so get ready for that. That's Indebted Kindness is going to be featured in it. I might use Indebted Kindness. I really want to use Symmetry. I'll give more detail on Symmetry in that video, but it's just absolutely nuts. Another good scout rifle to deal with the unstops and just general ads is Tarnished Metal. You can craft it with Rapid Hit Volt Shot. This is a nut scout rifle. And then this season you can get Corrasion, which is a pulse rifle to deal with those pesky barriers. And then I have mine crafted with Enlightened Action and Volt Shot. Other options could be Graviton Lance. BXR 55 Battler is it's never a bad weapon to use ever. So those two are absolutely amazing weapons, but this is what I choose to run on this run. Dragon's Breath, heavy weapon. The reason why I want to use Dragon's Breath is because you can shoot it and forget it. It pretty much can reload itself. So rockets embed themselves in struck targets and periodically eject incendiary fuel that inflicts scorch. Enough scorch causes ignitions. The longer this weapon goes without firing, the more fuel the next rocket contains. And then with the catalyst, this weapon replenishes its fuel faster. Defeating targets with this weapon causes them to periodically drop fire sprites. Fire sprites will give us our grenade energy back faster. Our exotic armor piece is fueled around our grenade, so it all kind of comes full circle. This one, let's see here. Yes, igniting nearby targets partially replenishes fuel. This weapon refills itself from reserves upon gaining maximum fuel. And then the catalyst, it gets its fuel back faster, so it can reload itself faster. I have some armor mods on that will reload this just in case if I miss and not hit anything with it, but we'll go over that here in a second. But that's why we want to use Dragon's Breath. It's a shoot, forget. It does a lot of damage, plus it has a lot of ad clear potential. Other options could be like a Truck's Termination with explosive reconstruction. This is one that I recently got and have been having a lot of fun with damage, with an arc damage. So it's just absolutely amazing. I love Truck's Termination. Code Duello, I finally got a decent roll field prep lasting impression on it. Haven't used it quite yet, but it's got a blast radius masterwork, but it already came in at like 95 blast radius, so I just went ahead and did it so that way it would have the gold border around it. Other options: Faithkeeper, Crowning Duolog. This is great. Auto-loading chain reaction is great for ad clear, and then auto-loading bipod is great just for, you can shoot 2 rockets. That's what bipod does. You can shoot 2 rockets, and then you can stow it, and it'll automatically reload it, both rockets. So it's just shoot and forget sort of weapon. That's what I'm trying to do. Again, auto-loading, you can shoot and forget it, but same thing with Dragon's Breath. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get on to the artifact. In the artifact, first column, must have anti-barrier pulse rifle, unstoppable sidearm if you're wanting to use the weapons that I used. If you're wanting to use a scout rifle to deal with the unstops, do that. I don't recommend using submachine guns in this GM to deal with the barriers. That's just personal. If you wanted to do that, do it. And then anti-barrier sniper rifles. All snipers in this game, in my opinion, zoom in too far unless you're doing PvP or something. But I just don't. I'm not going to use snipers in PvE just because, like I said, they zoom in way too far and they're kind of hard to. They're kind of hard to aim when things are moving around. That's just a me thing. Second column, what we're using: overcharged armory, weapons with the dealer's choice, radiolaria, transposer, collective purpose, and sundering origin traits are always overcharged weapons for you when that modifier is active. So we're using Aberrant Action, which has radiolaria transposer. Whenever radiolaria transposer is active, the weapon becomes overcharged, dealing more damage. That's just what that breaks down to. And then we're using the authorized mod Scavenger for the Scavenger mod on our legs. I'm not using anything else in here because we're not making orbs with this build. So all of the elemental charge, charged up, stuff like that, we're not using for this build. Third column, I would suggest doing Elemental Siphon. Rapid final blows with a kinetic weapon or a weapon matching your equipped super creates an elemental pickup that matches your equipped super. So when we're solar, we're going to pick up fire sprites. Again, fire sprites give us our grenade energy back faster. It just kind of all plays into the getaway artist. And then the only other one, in my opinion, that makes sense here to be able to move on would be press the advantage. There are a couple of combatants in this GM that have shields, so whenever you break the shield, it gives you weapon stability, handling, and reload. It's a situational thing, but you need 5 total perks from here back. So we've got 3, 4, 5, and then to unlock this one, we needed 7. So we have to do 2. Like I said, this one just kind of made more sense. Now on to 4th column. In my opinion, must have counter energy. When you are a member of your fire team stuns a champion, you gain energy for your least charge ability. Again, we want maximum uptime on our abilities. Galvanic armor, we're going to be becoming amplified just because of Getaway Artist. So while you have an Arc or Prismatic subclass equipped, incoming damage from combatants is reduced while amplified. This is a must-have when you're using Getaway Artist on any build, in my opinion. This is one of the reasons why Getaway Artist is so strong right now, is because of Galvanic armor. It's just, it's insane. This plus, like, if you make yourself amplified, that'll proc this, and then you pop super. It's just so much damage reduction. And then solar fulmination, your ignitions do increase damage in an increased radius. So on our subclass, we have that one item where it's called this Facet of Ruin. It increases the area effect of solar ignitions, so we get even more area of effect out of our solar ignitions and more damage in that area of effect. This is a must-have if you're using... These two are must-haves if you're using Getaway Artist and Dragon's Breath, in my opinion. On to the 5th column, Shield Crush. While you have Woven Mail, Frost Armor, or an Overshield, your melee recharges faster and deals increased damage. I need to slow down. While you are amplified or radiant, your grenade recharges faster. So we're going to make ourselves radiant with our grenade. While we're amplified, we're going to get it back faster. We don't really care about the increased damage because we're not really damaging stuff with it. We're more debuffing with our stasis turret. And then transference. You gain increased grenade melee damage while transcendent, and then weapon final blows while transcendent refund light and dark energy after transcendence ends. Weapon final blows count as Dragon's Breath. So we're able to go transcendence. We're able to transcend a lot in the final boss room, which is what helped us complete it. So those are all the armor mods, or all the artifact mods that I'm running. Let's go over here to the armor and take a look at it. First and foremost, I would recommend getting your resilience up to 100 first. I have a bunch of discipline just intrinsically on my armor, so I don't really have to worry about discipline so much, which is why I wanted to get my recovery up. So number 1, resilience. Number 2 would be discipline, because you want your grenade back faster for your Getaway Artist. And then 3, if you can swing it, do recovery, because it's Warlocks. You know, we get our rift back faster with higher recovery, plus we recover health faster with higher recovery. So just very good thing to have. Let's look at the helmet. We've got heavy ammo finder, so increases the drop chance of heavy ammo upon defeating an opponent. We just want more heavy ammo so that way we can shoot Dragon's Breath more. Dynamo reduces super cooldown when using your class ability near targets. In the big room especially, I remember being surrounded quite a bit in there, and so using our class ability will help us get our super back faster. And then we have harmonic targeting. That is for our aberrant action and our Dragon's Breath. That's the reason why we're having there. Like I said before, we're not using anything. We're not doing anything with orbs. So on this build, so don't worry about that. On to the Getaway Artist. We are using impact induction. So causing damage with a powered melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. We're going to be out a grenade, and then we can throw a powered melee, which we have 3 charges with, fully charged, and it's just absolutely amazing. And then we have kinetic loader. We want to reload our kinetic weapon super fast. The reason why we don't have harmonic loader here is because on our legs we have solar holster. Those weapons are primarily going to be used for shooting and then swapping back to our kinetic slot, so that's why we have solar holster, and that's why we have kinetic loader here. Onto our chest. I would highly recommend you running double void single solar damage resistances. There are the void, if you could swing it, do single void, single solar with a concussive damper. I could swing it, but it would drop my recovery down to 70. 70 recovery is a-okay, but it's just I ran it with this. You can run it with this, or run it with a different mod if you would like, but I would prefer double void, single solar. Onto the legs, harmonic scavenger. So that way, whenever we pick up ammo for our solar weapons, both Aberrant Action and Dragon's Breath are both solar, so it gives us more ammo back when we pick up ammo for it. That also procs on Kinetic Tremor Shoot to Loot, so remember that. And then solar holster. Like I said, if we shoot Dragon's Breath and we miss everything, it'll still automatically reload itself over time with solar holster. So not a big deal if we miss. I have it there just in case for that exact reason. Onto the bond, we have Bomber because it reduces grenade cooldown when using your class ability. So you're going to use your class. You're going to use your grenade. You're going to use your class ability. It's going to give you a little bit of a bump in your grenade energy. And we've got double distribution, so reducing all ability cooldown when using your class ability near targets. Again, in the second room primarily, and in the final boss room, but in the big room, distribution kind of comes in clutch there because we're surrounded at a few parts, and we can use our class ability, and it doesn't. I make it seem like it gives us back all of our stuff immediately. No, it gives us like 15% energy, and then maybe 20-25% energy with double. It's not a lot, but it's better than nothing. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into the run of the GM. All right, guys, what's going on? Here we are again, another voiceover. We're going to try to sit as still as possible because I get very animated when it comes to stuff like this. I could also probably do another area of my room to record voiceovers that's a little bit more comfy, but I don't know. We're gonna see here. All right, so here at the very beginning, just get on your Sparrow, get on your vehicle, and go to the checkpoint. Nothing's coming up here, nothing that we have to worry about. When you see me get off of my skimmer, you'll know that we're about to fight. So here in a little bit, I'm gonna jump off after this turn in this room here. There we go. All right, so there's a barrier champ, obviously, you can see there. Sometimes if you stick them with a Dragon's Breath shot, they won't TP. So this is the first time that they've TP'd. This run has a lot of firsts in it. I only tried this 4 times, got it on my 4th try. So, but anyway, what I'm doing here is we're trying to do as much damage in as little bit of a time as we possibly can. There's a lot of things in there. So, like I said before, Kinetic Tremors, Dragon's Breath work hand in hand together. Just trying to take out that Minotaur back there because I'm tired of them shooting me with those explosions. All right, so there is another barrier hobgoblin here. We're going to put a grenade into him, hit him a couple times with Aberrant Action, reload this before he decides to put up his shield. There we go. Through the fire and flames. Good song, by the way. But through the fire and flames, there are this Minotaur shots. In my opinion, the Minotaurs and the Butchers or what I call Butchers towards the end, or in the middle and towards the end, are going to be your biggest threats. I go Transcendence here. There's only a couple of Vex in here, so it's not that big of a deal, but I just went ahead and did that so that way I don't have to worry about the barrier hobgoblin. I mistimed my grenade there, so it happens. We'll take him out after the Dragon's Breath explodes because you don't want to take yourself out with the Dragon's Breath. All right. Everything has been taken out. That fire sprite goes away before I can pick it up, unfortunately. So, but we've got full grenade energy, so it doesn't matter. There are 2 Vex down here, and then 2 Cabal. So take out the 2 Vex, wait for the grenade to blow up. There's going to be a grenade every time. So grenade, 2 Vex, and 2 Cabal. Take them out. There's a lot in this room. I jump out and forget about it there, but we just go ahead and put our stasis turret down so that way we can start getting those darkness debuffs on everything. See, CC. It's crowd control. Everything's slowed / frozen. It can't be shooting at you. Or if it's slowed, it can be shooting at you, but it'll be frozen shortly after that. I see that there's a Legionary here that needs to be taken out. All right, this is the first run where the Barrier Colossus pushed up out of the doorway. The first, second, and third run, he just stayed up there. So I thought it was going to be the same here. Normally what I would do is I would jump across and then take everything out as I'm going up to the Barrier Colossus, but it's not. So we're going to go ahead and focus the Barrier Colossus here. The snipers can't hit you if you keep AD strafing, or what I would call AD strafing. Just moving left, right, left, right, left, right, you know. Just make it hard for them to hit you. Once they shoot, the weapon has the bullets have a travel time, so just don't stand still. You'll be fine. If you see those grenades, you can hear that high-pitched, like, squeal. That's when they're about to explode, so just don't be there when they go to explode. There's only one barrier in this room, so take him out. Take everything else out. We're just kind of moving along. I heard the guy up top left there, but I'm not going to worry about him too much until we get up. I heard him jump down. I thought he was going to come back up, but he didn't. He decided to go up the long way. There we go. We take him out. All right. Now, this next room, very important. Don't stand on the plate. Don't stay on the plate. Oh, yeah. There's all these goblins. Just take them out. They're not too big of an issue. All right. This room. Coming up. This room. All right. Don't stay on the plate. You'll see me. I go up, touch it, and then run away. Because he does 2, like, AoE slams like that. The first one will send you into the wall and put you to 1 HP. The second one will kill you. All right, we go amplified. We put down our stasis turret. We put down our healing turret. We do a grenade, or we do a rocket launcher. And then we start just, you know, going to town with Transcendence. There'll be 2 unstops that show up here. Again, we're going to pull them out a little bit with that. We're darkness debuff, and then we're going to get the Dragon's Breath in there. I think I shot the Dragon's Breath a little bit too early. Caught one of them not low, but no big deal. You can stay behind these pillars or these whatever they are on the sides of the room. They'll be kind of caught up with your stasis turret and your ignitions from Dragon's Breath, so they'll be kind of stunned a bunch. I don't know what that lag was there. It just happened. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. That was the first time it happened on the run, but it has happened in Destiny before. There'll be a little loading thing here. You're kind of loading into a different zone, I believe. All right, stay to the left. We're going to stay to the left here so we don't take any damage. We're going to jump up right. There's this little platform here that I kind of overestimated and jumped over it, so no big deal. We're going to put down our stasis turret. We're going to launch a rocket there. I didn't realize I got that low then. That's why I kind of paused. We're primarily focusing everything around us / everything other than the champion. We'll need to take out all of the ads before we focus the champion. In my opinion, it just makes it easier. Go ahead and put down another stasis turret. I should have put it up closer to the wall to my right here because it's not really doing anything versus this guy. So go ahead, use a Dragon's Breath. We're going to reload this while we have time. And then just keep going. You'll see me do like 5 bursts and then a reload. 5 bursts and then a reload. And because with Battle Scar, it'll do 5 bursts. Kinetic Tremors will proc, and then you can reload. You get 10 bursts out of this weapon. All right, so you can jump across the radiolarian fluid there, and you don't have to shoot the guy. You can, but I don't. It gives me more time to run back. So we sit behind this rock here to the right. It's going to be our safe spot. This is the part where we're surrounded. So he got stuck on the rock. Normally he doesn't get stuck. He jumps, he keeps going. So I have to be careful not to blow myself up with Dragon's Breath there. We're going to go Transcendent. I messed up the timing there, but it is A-okay because we're still... I mean, he's just taking so much damage from that grenade. Take him out. We're going to come back here. Toss that. Do a grenade to pull everything in. Hopefully proc kinetic tremors there. See, Devour is just so strong. We still have Devour active, so any takedown that we get, whether it's weapon or ability, will give us health back. I didn't realize my Transcendence ended, so I threw my Arc Grenade, but it's alright. We're already 3/4 of the way back. Alright, now there is just the Unstop up here. At the beginning, there was one barrier when we started this encounter, when we jumped across the Radiolarian Fluid and came back. There was there were 2 barriers, and now there is an incinerator. An unstoppable incinerator, I should say. So the good thing about unstops is they don't regen health. They're just very aggro. They just W key you. So luckily, stasis turrets, you can stun them by our pistol. We can also stun them by freezing them and shattering them. The shatter effect stuns them. You don't have to keep the arc charge in your hands. There's no timer on it, at least none that I could see. So I just kind of dropped it here. We're focusing on the Colossus. We do not want to get close to them because that solar weapon that they have will chew you up. All right. And there we go. They are taken out, so I'm going to pick up the arc charge and run it a little bit closer. I hear the butchers. This is or gladiators. I call them butchers because they have the big cleavers, but these guys are very tanky to be a red bar, and they are very scary because they can two-hit you with their melees. We're going to move forward a little bit more here. Drop it in that crevice so that way it doesn't roll. And then we're going to pull out Aberrant Action and take out these gladiators. One is down. There is another one, but I don't really care about him. We're just going to go ahead and dunk, and then I can take him out to go across. Now, important. Dunking the first one, coming back here on the right side of the room. This teleporter, as you see, it just opened. Be careful because there will be a bunch of things that come out. Luckily, I get a boost from the barrier that came out of there. And I was able to get away from there as fast as I could possibly do it. Here, I decide to pop my super. I don't want to, die. So we go ahead and just reload, reset. We're not going to die in our super, at least not to these guys. There we go. Take everything out from around us. I should have thrown a grenade there instead of a snap, but no big deal. All right, now we go Transcendent. We let Transcendence work a little bit. I'm trying to proc Kinetic Tremors on something because they're all grouped up so much that Kinetic Tremors just really does do a really good job of crowd controlling everything. There we go. All right, now there is a barrier and an unstop. Which one are we going to focus on? I missed the unstop, and the barrier shielded. So we're going to focus on the one that can heal itself. So the barrier is what we are focusing on. There we go. We're going to hit him with a rocket. Just kidding. Didn't reload. And the holster didn't take place in time. He put up his barrier right as soon as I shot the rocket, but it ended up going really close, which was very fortunate for me because that ignition, also unstops, get stunned from ignitions. So that stunned both of the champions. It was just super easy. There is the arc charge. Now, the second arc charge, there will be another barrier. That slam is a barrier. There is more things. So I just take it. There are more things. I just take it up here, pop my Getaway Artist, and then try and take everything out from a safe distance up here. I didn't know how many exactly there would be, so I got a little low there, but didn't know exactly how many there would be, so I just go ahead and pop Transcendence. We're using our grenades to kind of take care of both sides here. This guy is not going to heal itself unless he has his bubble up, so that's why I stun him and then look away from him to deal with the immediate threat, which is the things to the right. He ends up getting ignited, taking him out there. These legionaries are done, and now I believe we're good. Go pick up Fire Sprite. Doesn't matter, though, because we have full grenade energy. Picking up the Glimmer because I need Glimmer. I'm always broke with Glimmer. In order to do that little jump melee thing, you just have to hit your jump and then your unpowered melee button. If you don't have your unpowered melee and powered melee buttons separated, I highly suggest that. So here we go. I'm going to find him. There he is. We're going to hit him with a rocket. That'll help with taking everything out around him. I super just to make sure we're good here, because I don't exactly remember this GM. I remember needing to stay in this room, needing to stay behind that rock that I was staying behind. I remember that. I don't remember too much of anything else. So we go up here. There's more. I didn't know that they would spawn in. Go ahead and put up a healing rift because I know my super is going to end soon. And then pop a getaway artist. The gladiators, but I'm just going to keep calling them butchers. The butchers are pushing us, but that's no big deal. We have aberrant action. We're going to use the kinetic tremors here to help pop the bubble. And then we are able... I'm just going to use this because I don't want to waste a rocket round. So it takes us a little bit to take him out, but no big deal. There we go. And he is now taken out. All right, we can go back. We'll grab the arc charge, and then we'll dunk it. Once we dunk it, the door will open. There will be like 10 no-head goblins that are pushing you, and a void-shielded minotaur. I found out the hard way. I didn't know how many there would be, so I just kind of sit here. I do end up getting low here because of the minotaur. I can't see him through all of the solar stuff. So anyway, go ahead and take him out, and then his takedown was able to heal us. All right, don't need that ammo. We're full on everything. We're doing good. Up next is the final boss room. This is a really short run, or a really short GM. It's just very ad dense in certain areas. So we keep going here. We just got to keep going down and down and down. Don't go all the way down. Go to the light here. Also, this next area, well, you'll want to go to the light. There's a little red light. There we go. See it down here. I don't want to take damage, so I use my jump there. Totally forgot about these goblins. I'm not sure how many they are. I just kind of, I can hear them walking towards me, so I am just going to sit back so I don't die to them. There we go. All right, they are all taken out, and now it's the boss room. So you don't have to do anything to these original guys. The boss will kind of show you his power and take them all out. This is the hardest part in the GM, in my opinion. You got to keep moving. You got to keep going left to right here. You can just kind of go between the 3 plates. We're on plate 1 here. Plate 2 is right there to my left in the middle, and then plate 3 is over there to my right. And there we go. All right, so you know it started when he goes up in the air and he is like stun locked there. We are disrupting him. I take it. So waiting for things to spawn. We're going to use a dragon's breath to get that line of fire down there to start doing damage to everything. The warhounds, the yellow bar warhounds, are going to be one of your biggest issues because they do so much damage. But also there are a bunch of gladiators or a bunch of butchers. Go ahead and do as much damage to him. See, I missed that rocket, but we were still able to get some damage on him because of, I mean, just Dragon's Breath. I learn here. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and launch it at his feet. But then he moves. So it still does help us. It still does do damage, but a stick with Dragon's Breath is going to be better. You have plenty of time to get out of the way of those grenade attacks that he does, those Scion grenade attacks. They don't do too much damage. They just kind of boop you up in the air for other things to hit you. The boss's main damage is the grenade launcher that he's using, or whatever the heck it is. Just be careful about that. And now we wait. We always want to make sure we have a getaway artist turret up. Get some damage on him with kinetic tremors. Staying behind this middle rock here is suggested, but like I said before, you can just keep going in between. You'll see in the second phase, in the second like damage phase, you'll see me running back and forth a bunch. But it's more just cooldown management and making sure that your Dragon's Breath shots gets value. take some stuff out here. Stuff won't stop spawning in, but kinetic tremors does damage in an area of effect, so even though I wasn't focusing the boss, a lot of the kinetic tremor damage that I, put out there did do work, did damage the boss. There we go. So the boss has 3 health bars, but don't look at that. Look at the bottom of your screen. You want to get him to half health, and that's when you have to go to all 3 plates. Get out of the way of that grenade. Shoot under the turret, because you can damage your own stasis turret and destroy it. I believe you can, at least. I feel like I've done it before. All right, so plates time. Not a lot of stuff's out here, so go ahead and start one of the plates. You have to do all 3 plates in order to get to the next phase. Meanwhile, a lot of things are spawning in, as you can see. This is the part that it gets really hectic, and you want to use Dragon's Breath, or you want to use something that is able to add clear. The gladiators are super tanky. I ended up getting off just a little bit too early there. When you do get off of the plate and they turn red, the timer, you can see the wall around it kind of starting to go back down and down and down. You lose progress. So just try and stay on it as long as you can, but don't die. Like, it's all about completion, not about the time. Again, I see a bunch of things running in towards me, so I choose to get off of the plate for a second. Just kind of using this natural cover here to not take so much damage. There we go. Let's get another stasis turret out there. All right, now let's capture this. I meant to super there. I hit the wrong button on my mouse, so that was a panic moment for me. Like I said, though, in super, in Song of Flame, you just can't die. The new Blessing of Blades is out, which is like heavy swords regenerate ammo over time. There's no overloads in this, so I'm not going to use a sword. If there were overloads in the GM, yeah, I'd try it, but there's not. All right, get the turret down. We're going to go Transcendence, and then just don't die. That's the biggest thing. If you stay kind of in this little quarter area in between the 2 plates on the right here, they'll just come right there to your left, or they'll come over there to your right. It made it a little bit easier. The stasis turret actually ended up dying there before I got another one up, but that is okay because I'm still Transcendent. Toss that, pop that guy's grenade. We're going to put the stasis turret up top this time, so that way it's less likely to get caught on fire or anything like that. Plus, it has a better field of view, or a better view on everything. When you see, I saw the turret shooting the boss, so I was like, all right, there's nothing else for it to shoot. Well, there was, but he was frozen. So go ahead and take that out. More stuff is on its way. We're going to shoot the stairs there because they're going to, as you see here, they're going to come down the stairs. That's 2 of the 3 plates. I got a little bit low here, but Amplified will help to heal up. We're a little over halfway to our super. We have Transcendence again. I'm going to save the Transcendence. I'm going to try and take out as many of the gladiators as I possibly can really quick. I popped my Healing Rift there to get my grenade back faster. We got the grenade back. Like I said before, the gladiator in one swing took out half of my health. So just do be careful about those guys. Those are your biggest issues. The yellow bar war beasts and the gladiators are going to be your biggest issues in this. The red bars don't do too much damage, and they are able to be taken out super easily. You don't have to be on the plate the entire time, but the progress loss is very quick when you're not on the plate. So I saw a bunch of things coming at me. I don't want to be standing there. Didn't have my super yet. Now I do. So we're going to go kind of trail like zombies. We're going to train them around. We're going to just going to use everything we have at our disposal. Now that I see that we have super, we're just going to go to the plate. We're going to stay on the plate. Hopefully, I don't think we use our super quite yet. We might, though. Actually, yes, we do. I jumped while supering there, so that was unfortunate. That War Beast was, I thought, was carrying the grenade back to me, or the rocket back to me, and so that was scary as well. We just need to keep things from stepping on the plate. He booped me away. We've almost got it. And there we go. All 3 plates are done now. I've got my grenade. That's why I don't go for all of those fire sprites there. Gladiators need to get away from me. I'm glad I'm not the only one that can't get out of these plates, though. Like, you saw that gladiator roll and he just stood there. That's because of those plates. There's a little lip to them, and it like hinders movement. You almost have to jump. All right, we're gonna bring them back to my right. I put my stasis turret on the more right side there, because anything that's coming that way, I want to freeze. You want to thin out the herd. You want to focus on a few things at a time. Don't focus on everything. Target priority. All those things. I could go on with explanations, but I think you get it. Let's get a stasis turret out there. We're going to shoot that. He dodged it. But that's all right, because it's going to help us with some of the ads that are in the middle there. All of those damage numbers are just from the Scorch. So it's Dragon's Breath is doing absolute work for us. The entire rest of the time, I believe I just stay behind this middle area. We're trying to take things out as fast as we can, but also use as much as the AoE damage that we have to us available. Kinetic Tremors, Dragon's Breath, our Prismatic Grenades, even the melees, because of the unraveling rounds. They can be AoE. They can, once you take out something that's unraveled, they search for another target to unravel. There we go. Just trying to do as much damage to things as we possibly can. There we go. We are Transcendent again. Get another grenade out, and then I believe I go Transcendence here. Yep. All right. We do have super. I want to get the boss a little bit lower before I use my super to take them out, but it's all about ad clear and boss damage. We're not doing so much boss damage. We are, but we're not. We want to take everything out, because if we get overrun, that's game over. That's run over. That's something that I learned in the first 2 times when I tried and failed this one, was like, you just gotta take stuff out while doing damage. And so that's why Dragon's Breath. I wasn't using Dragon's Breath. I was using Apex Predator. All right, here we go. I see that the boss is pretty low, so I'm going to go ahead and push in. That grenade does, or that rocket does so much damage to him down there, as you see. I have to reload, and I was kind of freaking out because I was like, uh-oh, I'm not able to finish him off. But all the ignitions, the AoE damage that we have, finished them all off there, and it's relatively easy with Dragon's Breath, at least. Kinetic Tremors and Dragon's Breath. Like I said, it makes everything relatively easier. Looking at the weapons, this first one, I don't like deconstruct, so we got rid of that. And then this next one, I got lead from gold, explosive payload, not bad. Again, it's still an Uzumi. No one's like hooting and hollering about Uzumis, so here are the final stats. Anyway, if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button. If you think this video will help other Warlocks out solo this, then make sure you share it with them. And remember, subscribing is free, and you won't miss any of my future uploads, because you can get notified once you subscribe. So anyway, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.